Hey, I'm Seth with Plan the House. Thank you so much for watching this shed build series. In this video, I'm going to be installing the concrete board siding, also known as Hardie Board, and that's this stuff right here. I've already got this piece installed because I had to get my roof supports on. But we're going to be focusing on this wall over here today. We have to cut around the window, and that's going to be a little bit of fun with some angle grinder, but it should not be too difficult. A quick disclaimer before we get started. I am not a professional, just a homeowner with a YouTube channel. So watch this video for entertainment purposes and contact a professional before you start this kind of work. I'm going to be attaching this Hardie board with an impact driver and some Torx head exterior screws. Those screws hold well and don't slip around like your Phillips head, so they definitely fit on impact driver really well. So what I want to do first is find my middle seam, which is right here. And the way I built these walls, it's 4 foot from here over to here where it will match up with a stud. And the first thing I want to do is use 2 of these Torx screws at the bottom to keep the weight of this thing so I can drill this into place because it's very heavy. So coming down here just under my OSB, just in enough to hold the weight of this while I get it screwed into place. Whenever I designed my building, I wanted it to be 8 foot tall so that these sheets right here could simply just slip into place and no, or very few cuts would have to be made. And make sure it's right on the edge. After you get a few screws in here, you can remove those bottom supports, and then it's just a matter of following along the edge and putting in the screws required to hold this up. I'm going to point them a little bit at an angle so that it will hit that stud nicely. The next piece is going to interfere with the window, so we need to make a cut here around that. And to do this, what I need to do is get a piece. I'm going to bring it over here and place it on these 2x, and then we're going to be using the angle grinder to cut this. Now, if it was a straight across piece, you could just score it, and I'll show you that later, but we'll have to cut all the way through a couple times on this. To cut out the window, we need to know that this is 21 3/4, 21 3/4, and then we can use from the top down, that is 23 1/4. So we will actually take out a little bit on each side for a little tolerance, and the window itself is 35 1/2, so we'll probably do more like a 36 1/4 on that to give plenty of space. I'm going to come down 23 1/4, make a couple of marks for this, and then I'm going to come out from this edge over here 21 1/2. Make a couple marks on that. And then if we do 36 down from our mark, let's do 36 1/4 to make sure we have that extra little bit there. And now I can connect all of those lines, and we should have the opening that we need. I have my safety glasses on, my earplugs. I'm also going to use this face shield, and I probably should also have a mask on to prevent the dust, but I'm not sure where mine went off to. So what I'm going to do is cut through with the angle grinder this piece and this piece, and then I will score the backside so we can just pop it loose. I've cut all the way through this side and this side. Now I just have to score this side and we should be able to pop it loose. Hopefully that is sufficiently scored. I'm going to place a 2x4 here on that line that we've scored. And now I should be able to hold pressure on this like that, and then pop this piece up slowly. Rock it back and forth a few times and it will pop loose just like that. The concrete board is pretty tough, but still be careful when you're moving it around because it can break, especially when you have pieces like this cut out of it. All right, hopefully this fits up in here nicely. We don't have to pull it back down to make any more adjustment cuts. I still put my screws down at the bottom to make sure I had something holding this up in case it was too heavy. It was a decent fit. I didn't quite get it lined up 100%. You can see the crack gets bigger as it goes up, which means my last piece over here may just have a slight bit more, but it's no big deal at all. There's going to be trim on here. Now, after this piece is put on the side, I will come back and put one small strip in here to finish that out. But that is basically what I'm going to do for the rest of this side. It's just going to be 2 more pieces, and then that last edge piece, I'll rip one in half, and it will be there, that end there and this end here. Once I get that side done, I will come back and show you what I'm going to do for the front. Basically just going to cut a couple of triangles out of a single piece, and then I will have to use another piece to get this section above the door, and we will be about done. Like I've already shown you in the series, this side is basically done. Just got to get one piece ripped down for that, and then in the back I also had to put pieces on for the roof overhang, so that piece is done, and then this side over here is complete. One more piece that will go here, and then I've got that triangle up there and a small piece above the door. So this project will be a good bit of stuff done behind the scenes to wrap it up, but it's pretty straightforward. It's a bit of a hassle when you use the angle grinder to cut and score a piece, but once you get that done, it goes up pretty quick and easy. It's a new day. I wanted to get the 2-foot pieces that are remaining here on both sides of the building. So I need to score down an entire piece of this Hardie board and then snap it. So hopefully we'll be able to get these 4 pieces out of 2 different sheets. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. I think these weigh somewhere around 75 pounds. Definitely awkward. I measured all the corners to make sure they were 2 foot, and they are. So luckily I can just break these in half and it will cover all 4 corners. I'm going to score this about 1/8 of an inch thickness, and then I'll put a 2x4 on top of it, put a knee on it, and it should just pop without breaking into pieces, hopefully. So I'm going to use the angle grinder again. I do have my safety gear on. Okay, the goal now is to put this 2x4 right on the edge of the Hardie board. So I've got one on the top, one on the bottom, right where the score mark is. And I should be able to put my weight on that board and not harm anything. And then I'm just going to start rocking this piece here until it snaps. Okay, nicely done. I just got all 4 of those corner pieces installed and it's looking pretty good. Now you can see that I just have to do some trim here to cover up the corners, and I need to cut a piece for the window here. But I have 2 pieces left with me today, and what I'm going to do is cut out a piece that's 15 inches tall and whatever that distance is there. I'm assuming the 7 feet of our door, but I'll have to remeasure. So we'll cut out that piece, and then the other piece I'm going to cut into triangles to go from that corner up to the center point and then over there. So that should be one piece. I know that because whenever I did the OSB here on the inside, it was that way. So I just was able to use one full piece cut in half there. So let's go ahead and do that. I found that the piece that connects right here to here is 78 3/4, and then the height here is 14 3/4. So I have got that drawn out here. What I'm going to do is score the long side and then cut through the short side so I can pop it and hopefully get that piece up here real quick. I want this piece to sit pretty much flush with the top of the door, so I've screwed a couple of blocks in here to help me hold this up. If you're working with somebody else, you can just have them hold it for you, but this seems like a pretty good way to keep it flush with the top of the door. The last thing I want to tackle today is the 2 triangle pieces here on the front. The building is 14 foot, so I need to have 7 foot here as my midpoint. So the challenging part is going to be measuring the distance from the height. So in the corner over here, I need, let's see, 3 3/4 inch. Let me move over here and get the height for the top of it. So 29 inch is what we need here on this end. Starting from this end, I'm going to come out here and mark at 7 foot. These are 8 foot boards, so it's pretty easy to cut off that last foot. And so this needs to be the 29 inch. So let me actually come up here to 29, and then I'm also going to mark 7 foot again to make sure I have that correct. So that's our top point right there. On this side, I just have to come up 3 3/4 inch. I need to take my straight edge, which I guess is going to be this 2x4, and draw a line between those 2 points. Okay, I got this triangle piece cut out here. Hopefully it fits and I don't have to do any more work, because after you've popped it once, you pretty much just have to cut it the next time, which can take forever. The siding is now done on the shed. Let me show you what we've got finished here. So this piece here was already installed for us, but got the triangle pieces up top and this piece right here. Now I will likely come back at some point, put a little caulking in these gaps, and then maybe put a little tiny piece of trim to make it look a little prettier. We'll see. But in the meantime, it is weathered in nicely. Now this stuff does need to be painted, but because of the time of year that it's in, it's about 49 degrees right now, and I'm not going to be painting any more this year, but I'll paint it next time. So this side is now complete, looking really nice. The extra pieces here are for the doors. So I had to cut the last bit here for the sides. So one mistake I let my corners overlap slightly here. When I put the screw in, it cracked it. I won't be bothering that, so maybe it won't mess up. Oh, I do have to put this piece on, which I have not done yet, but I'll do that without you. And I think there's one little tiny piece right here as well. I've got plenty of extra to use for that. I'm also gonna have to come back, and this seam right here needs just a little bit of razor knife to shave it down so I can push that in. There's just, I let it get on top of this piece here. And this side over here is done. Just a straight wall, looking really nice. So this stuff is heavy, but lasts forever. If you are looking to install something on your shed that will really do a good job and be weathered in for a very long time. Thank you for watching this video in the shed build series. So far it's been 46 days building this, and I'm almost done. If you would hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell for updates, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.